D, we made it live here. The end of the season. Season 5. Cowboys have, again, not won the Super Bowl. And we're here after the Seahawks won and absolutely destroyed the the New England Patriots. And the Patriots weren't really even in the same class as the Cowboys.
We're out of practice, brother.
Man, I'm out of coffee, Jack.
Cousin, we're out of practice. It's been a while since
I need a coffee, brother. The Cowboys are looking up at teams. Give me just a quick breakdown of the Super Bowl. What you saw, what you thought.
Varsity versus freshman. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Varsity. Listen, you got the two left guys on that team, rookies, and it was a horrible mismatch from the beginning because everything starts from up front. That's what you see. So
it was tough to watch. Will Campbell, not built to be a
the
tackle.
guard was beat up too. Both those guys.
It just
and the
wasn't.
quarterback was he was banged up. And they show you a good defense beats an offense.
Listen, Seattle was better on offense. They didn't turn the ball over. They're better on defense. They sacked them, got turnovers.
Yeah.
They're better on special teams. You have the kicker who sets the Super Bowl record with 5 field goals.
Yeah.
And you have a punter who put on a clinic on how to play.
Yeah.
Offense, defense, special teams, guess what? That's how you win the Super Bowl. And they just showed it to you. So it shows you don't necessarily need that super quarterback to do everything all the time, right? We may have drifted away from the Brady and Manning era teams who one elite quarterback can cover a multitude of sins. Now, if you have a great roster, you can cover a quarterback because Darnold didn't really play great, but they still won the game and convincingly too. So,
all defense and had a guy rush for 135 yards, 40 yards.
Look at that stop the run the football.
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over.
That's all. It's
pretty simple.
Yeah.
And now we have the Dallas Cowboys who've gotten into the offseason, and there is the question mark of what does Dallas do to get into that upper tier, let's just say of NFC teams, because you got to get into the NFC Championship game first, which is tough enough before you're talking about Super Bowl. But what can make them an NFC contender? I think healthy. Going into next season, they're a contender to division, and we can start there, I guess, and then work our way up. But like the Seattle, LA Rams, San Francisco 49ers, what puts them in that category? Or let's start first. What's the division look like for the Cowboys next year?
Well, listen, there's steps backwards with the Eagles. They lost the offensive lineman. Is A.J. Brown going to be there next year? Are they going to put up? Those are big question marks.
They're talking about Lane Johnson and Leonard Dickerson retiring.
Somebody is going to be out of there. They lost their offensive line coach, and it's a huge loss. Yeah, it's a big loss. AJ, is he going to come back and do the same thing? I don't think
he's back.
Right. I'd be surprised. The Giants have an offensive coordinator, and Nagy's offensive coordinator is like this. This is his corner. Boring.
That was the best decision I saw last year. The Giants
I looked at that.
I'm
like, oh, thank you,
Love
Jesus.
It.
I was dancing in the spirit. They got him. He's a Liberian offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
The Redskins, they don't know their name anyway, so we continue on that. They're going backwards, take a big step. Oh, by the way, the last time we had this show on, our friend in Israel, I did say to her, you're not going to have that offensive coordinator next year.
You called it. You thought it was going to get a head coaching job.
Well, I did. I thought he would get out there and get
got
shot
fired.
I thought he'd get a head coaching job.
He's an assistant. So
I get half credit.
I mean, they have such huge holes along the offensive line and the defensive line. The Giants have huge holes in the offensive line. The Eagles could have holes. Now, there's nothing guaranteed, but it doesn't seem like when you're telling me that Nick Sirianni is overruling the run scheme of this offensive line coach who has built Hall of Famers. Right. Something's wrong. Something's very wrong.
Yeah.
And I love what the Cowboys have done with their defensive coaching staff. They filled it out. They fleshed it out with a lot of coaches who are teachers. I've been talking about this for several episodes now. Guys who teach the game. Guys who will take the player and put them in a situation to succeed rather than try and take the player and fit them in as a cog into the machine. The machine only works if you have players who fit into it. Or if you have a malleable enough machine to fit around the players. And that's what I'd rather have. Something where I can adapt and adjust week by week to my strengths and cause problems for the offense.
Well, we love the stories behind the the scenes. The question is Jerry getting out of the way of his coaching staff picking their own coaches? Because Eva Phillips, which I was a big supporter, a fan of, it wasn't like I wasn't, he picked that coordinator. Now you've seen Shoddy pick his own coordinator, and he's picking that coordinator, the young man, Christian Parker, which I love the name, by the way.
It rocks, yeah.
It rocks. Christian Parker, that's a winner. His staff, he's putting together. The question is Jerry getting out of the way so we can Super Bowl? We got to make the playoffs.
Right.
Playoffs? We haven't even been playoffs. You got to get the playoffs before you get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality is, let me turn this camera just a bit. So the reality is the Cowboys have a lot of free agents to sign, and they right now they're like $29 million over the cap, but with just a few easy restructure, they'll have $100 million in cap. So they have the ability to re-sign their own and make a play in free agency. So we like Brandon Aubrey, we know we're re-signing, right? You're going to re-sign Brandon Aubrey.
Mm-hmm.
George Pickens. Do you re-sign George Pickens, let's say in a 4-year, $32 million deal with what it called $100 million guaranteed?
Here's the factors. Here's the factors. Is CD going to get pissed about lack of catches? Is it going to affect the team? Are you going to get Pickens? And let me tell you a story about Pickens. Is he Antonio Brown Jr.?
It's worth asking.
Is he Antonio Brown Jr.? Now, Antonio Brown won a Super Bowl with who?
The Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. All right. So that was a tag along.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
I could have won the Super
there.
Bowl. I could have won the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers that year.
But
okay?
Antonio Brown at his peak was the best receiver in football.
The guy Pickens made all pro. You can't take it away. But that but is a big B, a big U, and a big T. If he doesn't get his catches, what's he going to do?
Okay.
I'm going to tell you what he's going to do. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to tell you what he's going to do on the sideline. This is what he's going to do. Twig. That's what he's going to do on the sideline. And if it doesn't screw up the team, he made all pro, and you get 2-3 games, guess what you got? Media going crazy.
Okay, so let's walk down this path of the Cowboys franchise him and then move on from him. What are you getting for him? What are you getting for George Pickens on a franchise tag? You're going to trade him or you're going to let him walk?
Well,
you let him walk?
The character issue.
Answer the question. Are you going to trade him or are you going to let him walk?
Well, I would trade him.
Okay, what are you going to get for him on a franchise tag? A second-round pick?
I'll take a second-round pick.
Okay, so let's say you trade George Pickens. You're left with CeeDee Lamb, who has been hurt.
1 year. It was a freak accident.
Was he hurt or was he not hurt?
Yeah.
Besides,
he was in a
behind
backfield.
CeeDee Lamb, you have Turpin, Jalen Tolbert, who's a free agent who should never come back.
He's gone.
Right? Flournoy. You're going to run with Flournoy as your number 2? You're going to draft another receiver? You're
going to bring somebody in the camp.
What does that mean? You're going to bring somebody in the camp.
You're going to bring some. There's enough there to still score points. They were before Pickens was there. They were scoring at the top of the league, weren't they? You have the best, most explosive offense with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb there. Okay, here's my factor. Instead of CD making all pro, Pickens made all pro. So, and he missed time. So that's the same difference.
It's
the same difference.
CD had 1,000 yards and missed games.
Yes. Right.
That shows you how explosive they could be if they were in the whole time. Right. These guys, and they have to.
Easy Antonio Brown Jr. And I said, is he going to have that? I just did it.
That's fine.
Ruin his team.
Is
Shoddy going to take him to the side and say, knock it off in front of a Monday night game? They go berserk. They get in an argument on the sideline. You don't see that happening?
No, you
don't see that happening.
You're creating a hole for the team. You're creating an issue where the offense is insufficient. Again, we go back to these days where we're running out Mary's sister of the poor at wide receiver because we have these holes there of guys who can't create. Where if CD doesn't have 11 catches for 128 and a touchdown. What does this Cowboys offense do?
They were still, without Pickens there, he was still one of the highest score teams.
Yeah. But now we're talking about the best team offensively, the most well-rounded team who can pass, who can run, who can do it all. That's what we're talking about, right? You're getting rid of an elite strength. You have a top 3 at worst offense, and you say, okay, we have to address the defense. We can address the defense. Without him, you're bringing your offense down to, okay, maybe they're top 10. But now your defense has to compensate. Their defense is so far away that you cannot, in my opinion, compensate for that.
Don't poke at a nav, but read
the
question. We have one of our.
That makes sense because I guess the Giants are going to get rid of Nares because she was out for a long time. This year. Show me that again. We're reading some updates were being sent. His argument don't make sense because I guess the Giants are going to get rid of Neighbors. No, I disagree. You're going to keep the talented receivers. You keep talented receivers if you have them because they're not easy to get. Let's look at the free agent options this year at wide receiver. Alec Pierce is the number 1 free agent.
He's not a bad little player.
Great. He's not George Pickens.
No, and I'm saying the upside, and you already have somebody who's all pro. You're going to gain something out of this. More. I'm not a Pickens fan. I'm not. You don't win with those type players who just care about themselves and their own numbers. Period. Neighbors, hello, neighbors. You'll find out, Giant fans, when that comes along.
Yeah, and maybe they will. But if the Giants traded Malik Neighbors and got rid of Malik Neighbors, they would have me and you at wide receiver.
Well,
Wan'Dale Robinson's gone as a free agent, right? He might be the next best wide receiver.
Right.
Sure. You go ahead and get rid of Malik Neighbors and see what you do to the growth of
the
your
Giant fans will go crazy. I get that.
What
they
are you
have nothing
do?
at all.
Well,
I'm saying we do have CD. That's what I'm saying.
Great. And what happens if CD goes down for 3 games?
I'll tell you what's fair about it. I'll give you what's fair. Tag him. You tag him.
He's not going to play on the tag.
Tag him.
He's not going to play on the
and
tag.
It just goes to show you he'll make $28 million, $30 million this year.
He's not playing on the tag.
Will he play it with $30 million?
No, players are not playing on the tag anymore. If you're going to tag someone, what you're saying is, this is how much money you're worth, and then guess what? You get the tag next year. All that does is give you a baseline for negotiation. Say, listen, you would have made $32 million a year anyway. That's where we start. Boom. Let's call it a day and say, let's do a 4-year, $32 million a year contract. Throw $128 over 4 years. Give a $80 million guarantee and call it a day. That's what it has to be. Not this. Oh well, we'll get rid of this talented player because he might be a problem. He might be a problem.
He was on the sideline. He's been late to practices, late to miss meetings. Okay, we have that. I know he made all pro.
You're cutting off your nose to spite your face.
I know he made all pro.
I don't care if
and
he
I know
is
that Dak wants him back. The whole team wants him. They don't have any problem. But it always affects your coaching ability to communicate what you want from your players.
No, you still coach them the same. You coach them the same. This is the expectation.
This is not LT anymore. This is not LT's era anymore.
Listen, this is the expectation. You don't put up for it. I don't care how much money.
I know LT wrote the check out. Parcells, what's going to be the fine? 100,000. Here's the check. I'll be there when it counts. I get all that. I know Des Bryant waiting for the plane. They had to wait the plane for an hour. And I know Michael Irvin missed the plane one time. What did Jerry Johnson do? Bye. Right? He took off without Michael Irvin. I get it.
What do you want?
I don't like him. I don't want him on the team. If I'm sitting around the table, thumbs up or thumbs down for re-signing Pickens, it only at the contract of a free agent, not the free agent tag.
If you could give me a first round,
and you gave me a year, if you gave me a year that he came in, had 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, and we won 2 games in the playoffs, and I see that he's grown up because there's some issues there. My little birdie says Antonio Brown.
Yeah, and look what happened to the Steelers after they got rid of Antonio Brown. They had no effective offense. They let go of a guy who really was still talented went to the Raiders and was a disaster, but ends up going to the Buccaneers. But they let go of Antonio Brown, and they could never replace the production they have for one of the best receivers in the league.
If you tag him, how do you get rid of him?
You'd have to trade him.
Now, would somebody want Pickens?
Yeah, but you're going to first round pick for a 1-year contract.
Listen,
I don't think you are.
The only reason why I'm saying you had to put the tag on him is telling the player, listen, you're going to play by my rules, and here it is. Let's see what we're going to do 1 year on you. You're getting $30 million.
He's not playing on a tag. Players don't play on a tag anymore. Players aren't playing on a tag. They're not. So I'm not doing that. I need long-term stability. You got to give him long-term stability.
You got $30 million. Let's see how this goes.
You think he's going to be – you think if he's not getting catches that he's going to want to stay in Dallas after a year? And he's going to be a good boy if he knows he can see the end of the light?
Well, the thing is –
he'll be fine.
Calling, I mean, Dak's going to throw to him and stuff. But there's an issue.
You're going to throw to him.
Yeah.
So what's the issue?
The issue is –
Dak's going to throw to him.
Yeah, I get it. You're saying he doesn't. It doesn't. If something happens in that game, 2-3 games, he'll pack it in and quit.
Did we see that this year? Did he quit this year?
Yeah, of course he did.
He didn't quit. They were out of contention. They're still out there playing hard.
Yeah, it was a couple games there. It was questionable on him playing hard. I know he's still made All-Pro.
You're going to get rid of an All-Pro receiver for nothing, create a big hole in your number 2. And when CD goes down, you're going to be running out. You're going to be calling Jalen Tolbert back up. Say, please come back, Jalen. We need you with your stone hands and your routes that look like they're rounded off by a second grader. I have kindergartners, preschoolers learning how to write there, have better route trees than Jalen Tolbert.
And I'm sitting down with Pickens, and I'm going to tell you this is what I'm going to tell him. All-Pro, you did a great job for us. Here's a couple of issues I do have showing you about growing up from last year. I'll give you a tag this year. Come back, repeat today, and we'll talk long-term.
And he's going to say,
you got to have leverage.
And he's going to say,
you got to have leverage.
I'm not
you give it in, give it to him, you're in big trouble, all of it.
And then he's going to say, great, after this year, I'm not signing no contract. We're going to go out and ball, and then say you're going to be the exact same thing. You trade away a third-round pick for nothing.
Tag him again.
That's right. And then what after that? And then what?
They did it to DeMarcus Lawrence twice.
Do you think those are the same people? Yeah, they hit DeMarcus Lawrence.
He got a Super Bowl ring now.
So. Right, yeah, not in Dallas. Him and Tank Lawrence have their own. DeMarcus have
people don't think he won't sign for the tag. Then what is he don't play?
He's gonna force his way out. He's gonna say, I'm not playing here. You're gonna trade me. And they're gonna flip him for nothing. You're gonna get a second-round receiver. Great. You're gonna get a DN in the second round, and you're gonna have to draft a receiver in the first round.
So you're for signing him long-term?
4 years. $125 million.
What's guaranteed? How many?
$80 million.
Wow.
That's nothing. That's nothing. Nothing for elite receivers. Nothing. And you guarantee the best receiving tandem in the NFL.
Well, the question is, does Shadi say we want him, sign him long-term? Does Jerry say no tag or the son?
Yeah, Catboy, I'm sure, would say it. Catboy would have a big problem with it.
Catboy. I don't like Catboy either.
He would have a problem with you. He might as well be the owner of the Bengals.
I don't want to go back and say, told you so. You sign him and he burns us. I don't think he's a team player.
Yeah, go ahead. Send him somewhere else and let him
torch
us for 145 yards.
Let me tell you
3
something.
touchdowns.
AJ, the year before Brown, everything was clicking. As soon as it came in this year, he banked it in. It was it. That was it.
George Pickens gives me a Super Bowl. I don't care if he's a monster afterwards. I don't care. If he gives me a Super Bowl.
Well, if you say it that way, yeah, gives me a Super Bowl, fine. Prima Donnaville, right?
But I'm much closer to Super Bowl with George Pickens at wide receiver than I am not at wide receiver.
Look, I love him in the 3 number. I think he's awesome in the 3 number.
He rocks.
Yeah.
Him and CD are the best wide receiver tandem in the NFL. Okay. And they're better than Chase and T. Higgins. 1 and 1A.
Yeah.
Because Jamar's the best probably receiver in the NFL.
Yeah.
But CD and George are above T. Higgins. Mm-hmm. And they're just combined.
They had also look at it. The guy made All-Pro. I keep saying it.
You bring him back, and then you start to sink assets into the defense. You restructure. You go out there and tell Trey Hendrickson, what does it take? 3 years, $25 million a year. What does it take? Get him in. Jerry has talked about making moves in free agency this year, which leads me to believe that they're going to make a deal, get a deal done with Pickens rather than try and move a different direction. Jerry does not hold back. He very clearly telegraphs what he's going to do, right? Whether it's moving on from Amari Cooper, whatever it is, they don't hold back. They clearly tell you what's happening.
They try to get him back.
Yeah, but at what point in his career?
Well, it was just a few years.
Yeah, it was over. It was over.
They tried.
Yeah,
Cooper said no.
But we're talking about Jerry's been very clear that he is going to make a move in free agency, or they want to make some significant investments in free agency. Well, Trey Hendrickson's the guy. We all love Max Crosby, but if you don't have to give up draft assets and you can add an elite pass rusher, and now you can go into the draft and say, best available defender at 12, best available defender at 20, or you trade back one of those picks and pick up a second and third. So you have your first, second, third round pick and say, okay, cornerback, linebacker, safety. I'm living. I'm doing just fine.
I don't disagree with that. Listen, that bars right there. But
if you don't have George Pickens, it doesn't matter because you're not going to be a Super Bowl contender no matter what you put on defense.
They would score points before George Pickens got there.
You're not a Super Bowl contender next year if you don't have George Pickens.
Points before George Pickens.
You're not a Super Bowl contender if you don't have George Pickens in the offense.
They were scoring points before he got there. They were top scoring in the league.
When?
Before he got there. Not last year because he was hurt. I mean, a year before. McCarthy. What were they scoring under McCarthy?
2 points a game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next.
2 points a game. Javonte Williams. Do you bring back Javonte Williams at running back for $9 million a year?
I want the guy from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So
I said this several months ago, and I said I don't care about positional value. Give me Love from Notre Dame and Caleb Downs from Ohio State. And I think it is possible.
Yeah.
People say, oh, Caleb Downs is going 5 to the Giants. Caleb Downs, I've seen some people mock him to 2. I'm like, here's why Caleb Downs is going to fall to the Cowboys at 12. Here's why. The teams that need him, the Giants, the Commanders, the Cardinals, the Browns, have significant needs at positions that have much greater positional value.
Lunch. Downs is not going to be there.
I'm telling you.
No, he's not.
The Giants have huge needs in the offensive line. If you take Caleb Downs, you're going to be in the exact same positions you were last year, and your quarterback, your offensive queen piece on the chessboard is going to be beat to snot again. Plus, I don't think, after seeing the Ravens for years, I think that it's very clear that Harbaugh's going to draft offensive line. Like, very clear. They're going to draft the best of all offensive linemen.
Yeah.
The Commanders, offensive and defensive line are horrendous. They need help, right? You draft Bailey from Texas Tech there, right? Ruben Bain, if he falls, right? There's a lot of defensive linemen there. The Browns need an offensive line still. They need to draft offensive line, or they could use cornerback, right? I think the offensive line is another big thing. And with the Cardinals, they need the front 7. They need a D end. They need a D tackle. I think there are guys there that they're going to say, okay, if I'm taking a safety in that top 10 pick, he's already going to be paid as one of the highest paid safeties in the NFL now. It doesn't make sense to do that right now.
I think Downs would make the whole defensive scheme better.
Without question.
Without question. Back to Pickens, one thing. Our silent majority made the question up. The Rams, Puka. Suppose he gets a long-term contract. What's he going to get?
Puka Nacua?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get a massive contract. Why?
Well, what I'm saying is Pickens going to get his money.
No. And I think because of some of his red flags, he won't.
Okay. Well, some of those red flags.
I'm fine with some red flags as a wide receiver. I'm fine. I don't care.
I am fine with some of them too. I am fine with some of them, but not his red flags.
You're gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm sorry. You're gonna get rid of a guy who's a top 5 when he's on top 10 wide receiver because he has a bad attitude. Sometimes
we're doing a show next year
during
the season, and we're sitting there when he does Brown.
AJ Brown?
Not AJ Brown, the other the Steelers guy.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown, a bunch of Browns. He gives you Antonio Brown a couple games, sit with the hood on.
I don't care if he gives me 1,400 yards and 13 touchdowns. I don't care.
I don't trust him.
88 catches. I don't care.
I'd be trusting him. But anyway,
I don't care.
Yeah. So he's not going to get Puka money, is he?
Spence says Jerry isn't paying 2 wide receivers top money. Yes, he is. The salary cap is a myth. The Cowboys can have $100+ million in cap space tomorrow, and next year the cap's going to go up by another $30 or $40 million. It doesn't matter. Jerry's been very clear. They're going to make moves in free agency. You're going to make moves to win. Make moves to win. Don't be a friggin' bum. I'm sick of these bum moves. Go sign T.Y. Hilton again.
Yeah, the organization taking Pickens to the side and said, listen, we need the whole person to win for us.
Swing for the fences. Go make moves to win these games. Go do something that says we're going to do what it takes to win. And tagging George Pickens is not it. Put him back there. Say, we have the offense all set. We'll figure out running back because you could throw anyone back there and they would run for 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns, right? We can get anybody. I'm not re-signing Javonte Williams at $9 million. I'll take Rico Dowdle back for all I care. Right? Javonte Williams is proof why I don't need to sign Javonte Williams to a big contract. Anyone. Miles Sanders was running hard. Malik Davis was running hard. Right? They have these guys who can come in and run hard behind a good offensive line. And with that passing game, you're going to see light boxes and go after them. Right? Attack. Draft someone. Get me Breece Hall. Give me somebody.
The next Emmitt Smith is Love from Notre Dame.
So that's what I was going to say next.
It's Emmitt Smith.
Give me Love at 20.
I'll take him. He got breakaway speed. He's big and strong.
His balance is...
Because they only have one person on the contract. They only got the Texas guy on the contract coming in.
I'm telling you.
They only have the little...
I'm telling
you. Can't depend on him.
I think they draft a running back in this draft. I think they draft tight end for sure. You're going to say, oh, they're going to draft these guys later. Those 4th, 5th, 6th rounds are drafting a running back and you're drafting a tight end in this draft. Last year I called it. They were drafting 2 players. What position was it last year?
Running back.
Your running backs.
Yeah.
So they're going to draft your running backs.
Yeah, you called that was a good call. 2 running backs. Yeah.
Jaden Blue and Phil Moffitt. They're not drafting running back this year.
Yeah.
They're going to run back with Jaden Blue and Phil Moffitt.
Yeah.
That's the reality. They're drafting a tight end later. But if Julian Love is there at say 20, it's hard to turn it down because I know the positional value for safety and running back are respectively low inside the ball.
Giants picking Love.
Right. But again, there's so many holes in the offensive line. You could have Walter Payton at running back or Barry Sanders. And behind that offensive line, why are the Giants going to do that? Cam Scatterboo.
He ain't nothing. He's overrated.
They're not.
He's just a hard-headed white boy running the ball.
That's fine.
With a little character to him, please.
But what you need is an offensive line. You don't need a running back there. Who cares? Have Black Jesus back there. It doesn't matter. You need an offensive line, or your quarterback's going to get killed. We're going to do the same thing all over again. About building the roster. Have to build the roster to be successful. Caleb Downs. If we're talking about roster construction, salary cap, right, managing your cap and managing what you pay, if Caleb Downs could be the best safety in football in a couple of years, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if he goes top 10. But I think he drops, and there's a lot to go between now and the combine. But like Kyle Hamilton, I thought was a home run prospect, and I thought he should have gone top 10. He slided 14, 16. Like, there's no reason why he didn't go, and he's one of the best, maybe the best safety in football. Caleb Downs is probably going to be the best defender out of this draft, but I think he drops to Dallas at 12. I know people say I'm crazy now.
No way.
But I'm just trying to read the tea leaves and see where things are going.
To the Skins, Commodores, Commodores, what do they call themselves?
Commanders.
The 4 tops.
Yes.
Whatever. There's no way he's going to go past that. That defense will.
I said it months ago. Give me Downs at 12, Love at 20, and forget the rest. Who cares what cornerbacks and safeties you have? Figure it out. Yep. What do the Cowboys need to do, in your opinion, outside of Pickens? What are you going to do at running back? I mean, you have Blue and Maffa, who I think were fine, but
Yeah, Blue Maffa. Listen, the style that Shoddy likes is a physical running back.
that's why I think Phil Maffa is a perfect fit.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit, and he's on the contract. They said they're working with Williams' agent, to come back, but on a cheap deal. But these guys are. I want somebody. I want a home run guy. That's what I want. And again, he still had a great year. You get the same production out of your running back from that, and you bring back Pickens, you're fine as far as that goes. I mean, just on paper.
Yeah. So what do you?
So it doesn't matter who your running back is. That's my point.
I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter because the offensive line, if they're improving under this coaching staff, which I think they can, I think it's any running back. Give me Le'Veon Moss from Texas A&M in the 6th round. I think he'd be fine back there as well. Spence said before, if not, I want Sonny Styles from Ohio State. I like Sonny Styles. I think he's an incredible leader. He did not miss a tackle last year until the playoffs. So, he is truly incredible. I just think he's great. I'm intrigued to see what he can do. Is 12 a little rich for him? No, I don't think so. I could see Sonny Styles at 12, and he comes in. Pair him with DeMarvion Overshown, and we're cooking, baby. We're cooking. I don't. Logan Wilson. You might cut him and save $6+ million off the cap. So we'll see what their plan is there. What can Shamar James? I want to see what this coaching staff has planned for some of the players that they picked up and some of the raw talent that they have. What's the plan for Siobhan Revel Jr.?
Well, here's what coaching does for you. Tony Dungy comes in, takes over the Tampa Bay defense, and he moves players around, and they become Hall of Famers.
Right.
And become Hall of Famers. You got to know where to. I think there's talent on that defense to perform in this scheme. The only weak area they have is the defensive end spot. They suck.
So
interior, they're fine.
Right. We know their D tackles are set.
Yeah.
And I feel very comfortable with, Kenny Clark that can cut and, save $20 million off the cap.
Yeah.
If you don't cut him, I think you're really good with him, Quentin Williams, and Osa Odigizua. Yeah. So you're good there. Your D end, you have Donovan Ezrawaku. What do you do with Sam Williams?
See, and here's the thing. Every other position they really have on paper. On paper, the Cowboys have nothing at D end. There's nothing there. Who's there?
Which is why I think, there's D ends in this draft. There's someone fault to them. When we talked about it earlier, someone does something stupid every single year. Someone does something stupid every year in the draft. Who's going to do something stupid now? Who's going to do something stupid now? That's the great question. And to me, what is the stupid thing to do this year is to trade one of your first-round picks from 2027. It might not be a player that you move up to draft this year. It actually might be that you are giving up a player next year and what is a loaded NFL draft, or what could be. And if you have an extra first-round pick next year and you can take that and flip up for an elite talent, because next year, right off the bat, Arch Manning is going number one. Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver from Ohio State, is going 2.
Yeah,
right. That's 1, 2
reverse. Whatever.
Right. Texas has a D end who's going there is great talent. You have the quarterback from Oregon who's going to be coming out next year. Right. He's going to be a top 5 pick. Dante Moore Jr. Right. So these guys next year's a stacked draft class. So if you do something stupid, it might not be that you're moving out to pick a player this year. It's that you're giving up an opportunity next year. Dallas with 2 firsts this year, the opportunity might be, rather than get a second and third this year, it might be get a pick, a second this year, and a first next year. Right? Waiting that year, or a third this year and a first next year for someone.
No. Think about Archie Manning and it.
Not Dallas. No, Dallas.
Yeah,
Dallas is not.
But the
somebody.
Grandfather did say who he wanted his grandson to play for. Was that his grandson?
Sure.
Is that his grandson?
That is his grandson.
Who did he say that he wanted to play for? I think he was drunk, by the way. Wasn't he drunk? Archie was drunk. I think he had some brewskis. And they asked him, he didn't say the Saints. He didn't say Eli and the Giants not playing for the Chargers. He said the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I'd
Which,
love it.
How about this one? Would you give 2 picks up, those first rounders from Myles Garrett, who wanted to come here?
I mean,
I would shop him. At Browns, I would shop him to get those 2 picks.
2 picks.
Yeah. Man, and
The problem for the Browns is that it doesn't really help them because their big issue is quarterback. Or you're going into next year with Shador at quarterback, and it doesn't help you address that.
The real thing from they're doing out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right? The draft.
Yeah.
How about me announcing one of the picks? How about me in the 4th round going up there? There's been a trade. It's been a trade. The Dallas Cowboys send a 4th round, and next year's 1st and 2nd for Myles Garrett.
Sign me up. Here's a trade name to look out for a 6th or 7th round pick. I would say Minka Fitzpatrick. The Cowboys talked about him then last year. The Dolphins are dumping anything they can to get, to bottom out. That's the team that's going to pick Arch Manning. I wouldn't be surprised if they roll into next year, even with Tua and Quinn Ewers at quarterback, and say, well, whatever it is, what it is.
What is Troy doing with the Dolphins, by the way? He's
helping out as an advisor. I think he helped him pick out the coaching staff. And Jeff Hafley, I'm not sold on. He was the D coordinator for the Packers last couple of years, and they had a middling defense, even with all that talent. Before that, he was the head coach of Boston College, where they performed better the 3 years before he was there and the year after he was there. So I'm not sold on him.
Well, I thought the Packers defense was top ranked the last couple of years. This year, they were ranked 6th. The year before, 12th.
Efficiency-wise, they're about 15 or 16 the last 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Efficiency-wise.
Yeah. So they're not the most efficient team. And, were they any better with Micah Parsons on the field? Dallas cooked him for 40 points.
What happened to Gary?
Rashawn Gary did nothing this year.
Wow.
He dropped off so fast. He was on pace for like 15, 16 sacks and got nothing else.
Yeah, because I was watching. Yeah. I don't know what happened there when he was hurt. But that's the D coordinator. He gave him the head coaching job. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Rashawn Gary game log. Let's see his
I don't know if he ended up with 8.
7.5.
Wow. He always gets that.
By October 26th, he had his last sack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 straight games without a sack.
Wow.
Even a half sack.
And that's what Parsons was in the lineup, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for, I guess, the last few.
Yeah.
Ask Pops if he would trade Pickens for Max Crosby. I know you would. Yeah, for sure. You would. Trade Pickens for Max Crosby?
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would.
Maybe I would.
I would.
Max.
Because they need a legit end. There's no ends on it.
Right. You need legit ends. And then you could say, okay, first round, I'm taking a receiver. If I make that trade, Pickens for Max, then I'm definitely going to take a receiver in the first round. Mekhi Lemon, I'm taking at 12 and calling it a day. Or Carnell Tate, and I'm calling it a day. Say, I'm good. I'm all set here. I wouldn't wait till 20. I would take another defender at 20.
You don't think Mingo is going to have a good year?
I don't think Mingo should even be in the NFL. Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah, yes.
I think Ryan Flournoy impressed me a lot.
Yeah,
if you said, listen, Flournoy,
legit better.
But if I'm rolling out CD, Pickens, and Flournoy as my 1, 2, 3, I feel very confident I have the best receiving core top 3 receiving core in football, and I'm not going to bat an eye. Say no one can guard me 1 through 3. So Flournoy really was impressive down the stretch.
Yeah.
Ferguson back there, healthy and everything. I'm feeling good. Flournoy can ball. What was it? Flournoy can hoop. Exactly. He really showed me a lot. Now, if you tried to convince me that he could be your number 2, no. Tolbert will not be back. Tolbert should not be back anywhere. I hear the renegades of the XFL want someone. Congratulations. Go play spring football. Go play spring ball at high school.
Okay, you signed Pickens. I'm going to go crazy if he's on the sideline with that hood on over his head. Something over his head.
You won't mind if they make
it made all pro, though. That Joker made all pro. It's legit.
What do you want? Makes all pro. You're still going to complain?
Pro bowlers are garbage now.
They didn't miss anything this year, right? It wasn't like George Pickens held them back from the playoffs. George Pickens didn't hold them back from winning a playoff game. George Pickens didn't stop them from doing what they did. It was the defense. It was the defense. And that terrorist, Matt Eberflus, who did what he did, who should be investigated for fraud or gambling or something, right? There's no way he did that on purpose without it being on purpose. That's how bad of a coaching job he did. I'm not going to waste any more breath on that thing.
Right.
But, this coaching staff has a spot going forward where they can teach and train these guys. I think they have to address the safety position. I like Malik Hooker. I think he gets injured a little bit. Donovan Wilson, if you can use him in a specific
it's time
role,
to move on from those guys.
I think it's time to invest. I think,
But who's their defensive ends under contract?
I totally agree. Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney is a free agent.
I'd like to have him come back. But that's their style.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sam Williams, he's a free agent. I'm not touching Sam Williams with a 10-foot ball. I'm sorry.
No.
He makes a lot of dumb plays. He is as physically gifted of a defensive end as you could make, like craft.
If you put 11 on his uniform, you'd think it's him.
Right. He has the physical tools. He makes a lot of stupid penalties and a lot of dumb plays.
He doesn't study enough.
And I can't have that. You have Razawaku, who I think who has shown us flashes of what he can be. He needs to get that peanut butter in him that is off season and bulk up. Give me 10 more pounds, get to that 255. You don't have to be 275. Right? Mathis and Freeney were 245, 250. Yeah. And man, them boys could fly after you.
Something.
No, if you're telling me Dallas is trying to build a Colts model championship team where the offense is going to press you all game and the defense is going to get after you, then you need that other end. Peter Woods from Clemson. You have to get someone there who can get you. Does David Bailey? If David Bailey makes it to 12, and I know everyone now says, "Oh, this guy's not going to make it. That guy is not going to make it." We still have the combine to get through, which changes a lot of things.
It changes a lot.
We're going to see someone shoot up the board. It wasn't there before.
For Ohio State, he's the best player in the draft, in my opinion.
From Ohio State, I don't disagree. I think he is. Mendoza's the best quarterback, but Caleb Downs
is. The Giants would do if they brought him. It would. And what does he look like? Is he a good-looking guy?
Probably. I'm sure.
You see his physical.
He's built like a transformer.
He's made for New York. He's made for New York.
Listen. What would happen if Caleb Downs came to? I'm crying. What happens if Caleb Downs came to New York? The Giants would have 7 wins next year because their quarterback would have a snot beat out of him. He wouldn't be able to throw the football. The offensive line would stink. They can't run the ball. Their quarterback's going to be in the 10th, but he's not going to have Brian Dable to come rush in and peek in the side anymore. That's what's going to happen. Who's Jameis Winston will be quarterback in 4 games next year.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very intrigued to see what this QB carousel starts to look like. The Raiders, if they stick and pick Mendoza, would you flip out if you're the Raiders? Say, maybe Mendoza is not the guy, and say, maybe I don't want to pick a quarterback this year. I want to wait a year. Maybe the Jets give me a first this year and a first next year if they really want Mendoza, and say, I'll take the Jets' top 10 pick next year, and my top 10 pick, I can go get whoever I want next year.
It's the hardest position to see as an amateur, but your quarterback. You know what I mean? It's the most difficult. Do I see him the number 1 pick overall? I think quarterbacks suck now. The only one you're going to get next year is Archie, but he's got to prove himself this year. Not Archie, but the Manning kid.
But listen, here's teams that are going to need a quarterback, some type of answer this year.
Yeah.
Miami.
What
are you doing with Tua? Are you going to try and move, right? They have the Packers kind of brain trusters moved over. Are they going to try and sign Malik Willis?
Well, so they didn't drop him yet, Tua.
No, not yet, but it's possible, and it would cost them $43 million this year against the cap, but they would clean up the cap after this year, which is what it looks like they're trying to do. They're in tank mode, right? They're going to trade Minka. They've cut Bradley Chubb, right? They cut Tyreek. They're cleaning everything up and cleaning house. They're going to be bad. The Jets. What do the Jets do? Justin Fields is still under contract. He cannot be your starting quarterback. He cannot. This isn't a video game, right? He's not. Do they try and make a move for Kyler Murray? Right, Kyler Murray would instantly improve whatever the Jets have got out of quarterback in the last 10 years at least. Right, I'm not suggesting Kyler's a top 10, but put him there.
These quarterbacks have to have coordinators to make them better.
Yeah,
just ask Cam Newton. in his MVP
Leave
year.
Justin Fields alone. Now, hear me out. Pittsburgh. Okay, Aaron Rodgers comes back. What are you going to do? Mike McCarthy was brought in to groom someone for that position, which is why I could see them picking Ty Simpson from Alabama and say he's the next guy. We'll stick with Rodgers this year. We'll be a middling team, whatever it is. And then we have our guy for the future, that Mike McCarthy, who is excellent developing quarterbacks. That's the guy that or you pick whoever you think is the next best quarterback. But at the moment, I would say Ty Simpson. Houston obviously is going to go with CJ Stroud, but it's a big year for CJ Stroud. It's a big year for CJ Stroud. If he does not put up this year, he is going to be on the clock. Say, okay, it's time to move on from CJ Stroud. He's never been as good as he was his first couple of years. So
they're a quarterback away of going somewhere.
Correct. Indy is going to come back with Daniel Jones, but how soon does he return? And what type of contract? If he doesn't have a good year, what do they do? And they traded those picks for Sauce Gardner. He was the worst. He had the worst luck in football last year. He came over and then one win the rest of the year from the Jets.
Yeah, didn't he get hurt?
He got hurt too, right? So we have that at quarterback, right? We have the Raiders, right? So Denver, the Chargers, and the Chiefs are set at quarterback. The Eagles, and I don't think it's a make or break year for Jalen Hurts, but it's certainly going to make or break a legacy for Jalen Hurts. If he has another bad year, we can stop. I think now we should stop with the top 5 talk for sure, and really the top 10 talk, but they're not going to move on from him. Dallas isn't moving on from Dak. The Giants aren't moving on from Dart, and the Commanders aren't moving on from Jaden Daniels, who we love as a person. Chicago's set, Green Bay set, Minnesota. They could get a quarterback, right? Where does someone like Kirk Cousins go? And again, this isn't Kirk Cousins of 10 years ago. He is stopgap at best. He'll give you 1 year as a hired gun, but JJ McCarthy is unserviceable. And look, they let Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold walk out the door.
Falcons are in trouble. You know that left cheek has been hurt every single year
of his career since like high school. Michael Penix. That's what I was about to say next. So Detroit's not moving on from Goff, but Atlanta with Michael Penix.
Are we going to get some meat?
Yeah, we're almost done here, Jack.
Okay.
New Orleans is going to stick with Tyler Shuck because he showed you some stuff here. That pass at the combine last year, he's like slipping and moving. That was embarrassing, but he's bounced back just fine. He's bounced
back, and the head coach done a good job down there.
And then if Arizona moves on from Kyler, what do you do there? Right? You have to fill a slot there. So a few years ago, when Cam Newton was a free agent and ended up going to New England, people were like, oh, he should have a starting quarterback job. The way they had picked young quarterbacks and the guys had just settled, there was no spaces available. This year, there's actually a lot of spaces available or up for grabs and not a lot of options.
Not a lot of options.
So if you have a quarterback and a decent backup, you're in a great spot moving forward. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I also think Dallas drafts a quarterback. I don't think they wait for free agency like they've done in the past. I think they take a late round pick. Joe Fagano from UConn, by the way. But I don't think that quarterback from Vanderbilt is being picked.
No.
Diego Paiva.
No.
He's shorter than my 4-year-old son.
But he set himself up to failure.
Yeah. Great. You had a fun little run in college.
Yeah.
But that.
Yeah. You ran your mouth like that.
Yeah. He wasn't Shedeur Sanders in college.
No.
He wasn't. That's the reality of it.
Right.
And you ran your mouth like you were, and that dried up real quick.
Is Watson coming back to the Browns?
He is.
Is he healthy?
He apparently is healthy, and they, by all accounts, are going to give him a shot to win the job. But he didn't play well last time. The last couple of years he's played.
It's horrible.
So after this season, I believe they can start to process to move on. So if Deshaun doesn't play well, and Shedeur plays like he did last year, which was, I think, statistically the worst quarterback ranked in football.
Yeah, for 1 year.
He's got to get some time.
Yeah, but I don't like his attitude, but to be fair,
give him a shot. Yeah, give him some development time. So, we'll see. The Browns could be looking next year for a quarterback.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot of teams who are QB needy. It's a bad year to
not
need a quarterback.
Not just this year, but it's going to be.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It's not just this year. It's next year too.
Yeah.
And not all of these teams are. All those teams we mentioned, they're not all getting answers this year. A couple might.
You mean to tell me Jerry would not want Manning on that team?
Well, I'm sure he would.
I'm sure he would. Yeah.
I'm sure he would.
I'm not impressed with Manning anyways. He got better as the year went on.
Yeah, he got better as the year went on. But I think he projects to be a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I think
name
I would.
Name only.
There's a lot of quarterbacks who are going to be really, really good next year.
Are you gonna be able to go a game next year? Are you gonna work it out?
Which game?
Cowboy game, Dallas.
Well, we'll see. I gotta see if there's schedule. If it's Sunday, maybe. If it's not Sunday, we'll see. You know, we'll see. If it's a Monday night game, I definitely
Have your
can
wife
make it.
preach. That's all. Put little Paulie up there.
Listen, Julian Sayin from Ohio State is going to be.
Yeah, I'm going to a Cowboy game next year.
Dante Moore, Arch Manning, Lenoris Sellers, who stayed another year, which he needed to. He's got all the physical tools from South Carolina. If he can put it together, developing, reading the game, that guy, he's going to be the guy who is in that upper stratosphere because he has all the physical tools to be a great quarterback, right? Like those guys, Sam Levitt from LSU, John Mateer from Oklahoma, right? There's this Trinidad Chambliss for the 12th time, go back to college and play again. Like, go get a real job, dude. Go get a real job. Tell these bums to go get real jobs. The college is for high schoolers to come in and develop within 4 to 5 years and then either go pro or go be a regular professional in real life.
Yep.
12 years. My goodness. Go get a job.
Well, 25, 20.
Go be an accountant or something, dude, right? Go sell real estate. I don't care what you do. Go be a doctor. If you've been in college that many years, you better have a master's degree and be working on a doctor.
You should be a professor.
My goodness. Anything. You should be almost a head coach with the years you've been putting in on staff.
Pickens quits during the game. That's what I don't like.
Pickens is going to get paid.
And he still made all pro.
You re-sign Pickens. You go out and you swing for the fences. You go sign Trey Hendrickson. You go sign Reed Blankenship as a safety. You go address linebacker. You go draft Mansour, the cornerback from LSU at 12, and you take a linebacker at 20, right? We're cooking, baby. We're cooking. You take Sonny Styles at 12 and McCoy from Tennessee, the cornerback at 20. We can fry. We can fry.
I still think they're better. They're set up better to win than the rest of the division,
which we'll talk about next season. This is the end of Cowboys and Coffee season 5. It's been a great run. We'll be back soon to kick it off, but we always usually end the season after the Super Bowl. So we're all done for season 5. We made it through. Yeah. Life has been good. We're still here, baby.
Because we got to talk about draft.
We're about to kick into. Yeah. We'll really get into the draft after this and go from there. We'll put out some mock drafts as to what we think and where we'd like to go.
Talk about the combine.
The combine is coming up. There's a lot of fun. It's year round, baby. This is football. It's year round. As long as I don't have to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend, I'm good. The dunk contest, despicable. Absolutely despicable. Give me a 3-point shooting contest. Give me a skills competition. I want a skills competition based upon size. 7 feet and over. 6'5" to 6'11".
Yeah, that'd be bad.
6'4" and under. I want to see, Bol out there dribbling a basketball through his legs back through the court.
I want it when Rogers Park used to play Broadview. That's the big game, NBA game I want.
I'm fine with that.
I want. Yeah.
Rogers Park, baby. We're number one. Mm-hmm. All right, D, it's been a good season. This is it for Cowboys and Coffee season 5. We'll post this as soon as we can. Love you. We shout out anybody for the rest of season 5?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out Zach Cortez and Nate Billzittley. See you soon.
I'm going to shout out Deb Stentz. Teacher in high school and at a community college class. She's the best, so she rocked. We had a class in 11th grade, American history and English combined. So it was 50 people. And, of course, it was me and my best friends in the class. It was mayhem in a good way. It was a good way. And we had to do Sinners in the Hands of an Angry God. We had to read it because it was transformative for the Puritan times. And she looked at me and she goes, "You're supposed to make a ministry." I'm like, this lady she is insane.
You're on crack that Broadview's number 1.
Yeah, right. Broadview ain't number 1, buddy.
Yeah.
Dominated.
Because I had a winning record against Broadview. Because I remember when I was in 7th grade, we played that 9th grade team. We had that big lead at the War Memorial, and a certain guard couldn't pull them through. But that's 500. Yeah.
We're overall family. We're buff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I'm saying. Dev Stens is for you. Everybody,
Because I know the Rogers Park girls were a little bit different than Broadview girls.
Listen, go Cowboys. Let's make some things happen this offseason. God bless you guys. Like, share, subscribe. Let all your Cowboys fans know where to find us. This is real Cowboys talk all the time, year round, ups and downs. I think that's what's different about us. I'm not trying to be heard. I'm trying to be real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's it. Go Cowboys. See you guys soon.